I kid you not, right when we opened up the door, bugs just started going like that. Scattering. Just like in the horror movies.
Stop. Hey, welcome to Powerful Shares. I'm here to connect. My name's Melissa, and here we discuss powerful stories, hoping to connect with different groups of people out there because we are not alone in our joys and our struggles, anything in life, really. Today, my guest is Amelia, and we are going to talk about something a little bit different today. She is going to share with us a story of when she was haunted in Costa Rica. So, Amelia, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Melissa.
So, I'm really looking forward to this story.
This is a good one.
Okay, so did I get that right? Costa Rica?
Yes, you did.
Okay, so, and you were haunted.
Yes, well, pretty much tormented.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, shall we just dive in from the beginning?
Yeah, absolutely. So, back in 2007, my parents took my sister and I on a family vacation to Costa Rica. And it was my second time being there, and I was super excited because it's kind of a different experience when your parents take you on a trip.
Yeah.
So anyway, we traveled all around. We rented a car, and we had a wonderful time kind of bouncing around to different places in Costa Rica. And then we ended up at this place called Monteverde. And this is kind of like
is it a resort?
No, it's an area. It's like a cloud forest. So it's up high and like lots of zip lining and lots of it's a cloud forest. It's just amazing.
So it's an area in Costa Rica.
Yes, it is. And it actually was settled by Quakers originally, I guess. So that's that. But we stayed up in Monteverde. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, all green everywhere. It's jungle everywhere. And so when we arrived, we went to, and this is back in 2007. So this is before, Airbnbs and things like that. And we went to check in to get our keys to the spot that my dad had found that we were going to be staying at. And it was a house. And so I'll never forget, we went and got the keys, and then we pulled up to the house. And there was no driveway, nowhere to really park. You just parked at the base, and then you just look up, and it was this house on and kind of the mountain. You had to walk up the stairs, so there's nowhere to like really, like you had to haul your luggage up and everything. Anyway, I thought, God, okay, that's kind of strange, but we're not really bougie. So we stopped, and I'm like, okay, we got to lug all of our luggage up, which we did. And right when we got to the house, there was a jacuzzi, and it was on the outside of the front door.
Okay, wait, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
So it was just you guys in the house?
Yes.
So was there like a main office where you picked up the key and they were like renting out the houses?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like some sort of situation that, yeah.
Okay,
that
so
was like a vacation
like,
home.
Got it.
Yeah, like you rented it. It was just like Airbnb without, the app and everything. It was, he got it through some sort of travel agent. And and it was a place that a lot of people stayed. So they rented it out frequently. There are resort-like places there that were more accommodating to more guests, like hotels, I guess you could say, smaller though. But that one was definitely a house.
Okay.
So and it was just off the bat, it was just super creepy.
Okay.
So we walk up, we bring all of our luggage, and we get to the front door, which has a jacuzzi that's out of service. And it was just kind of really dingy. And I thought, oh, great, this place is going to be nasty just off the bat. And, so not trying to judge it, but wondering what kind of place we're getting ourselves into. And so we open up the door. And I kid you not, right when we opened up the door, bugs just started going like that. Scattering. Just like in the horror movies.
Stop.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, we're like, okay, I know we're in the jungle. We're expecting that. But it was just really just like a horror movie. Just moving, scattering away. And so I said, okay. Ooh. We walk in, and it's the living room. And it was kind of like a rectangle shaped house. And so we walk in, the front room was the living room. And as you just walk through it and you hang a right, and there's a front bedroom to the right, and that's where my sister and I were supposed to sleep. And I grab, I take our luggage, and we turn the corner to go in that room. I walked right in, and I walked right out. And I said, we're not staying in there. we're not staying in there. We're going to sleep on the couch. And I told my sister that, and she didn't question me. You know, she's like, okay. I said, that room is our luggage room.
Okay, whoa. Okay, so pause. All right. So did you walk in and you felt something and you just walked out? Or?
Correct. I mean, the energy was off. It was cold. It was dingy. I couldn't believe that was a bedroom that anybody would ever sleep in. Like it was just off. I walked right in and right out.
And so all of this happened and processed within your brain
seconds,
in moments.
Yeah, because it just, nothing added up. I've always been, I've been able to really feel things my whole life, and the energy was off, and so I said luggage room, period. And then okay.
And you must be super sensitive to energy.
Yes, very, very, very sensitive,
okay.
And yeah, and even more so than I thought at this time, actually. So we exit we just put out all the luggage there, and then my parents had a room, so the house was living room, kitchen, and then the main bedroom, and in between all that there was a bathroom, the other bedroom. So it was kind of the shape of a rectangle, and so you had to walk through the living room and the kitchen to get to the main bedroom where my parents were going to stay. So anyway, house was just kind of creep factor. Everything just felt off, cold, dingy. None of us were comfortable, really. My mom wasn't happy about the bugs.
So there was just bugs everywhere.
Just weird. But the way they were like getting away from us, like, they're, like it just seemed so weird. Like we're used to bugs and you're in the jungle, but it was a lot. And so then we went about our day. I can't remember what we did that day, but I do remember dinner. And we went to dinner, and there was a nice restaurant that we went to, and we, just the four of us, and we had a really nice dinner. But I remember like my mom and I getting into some sort of disagreement or argument or something. Not, nothing out of the ordinary, but there was some tension.
Okay.
Between just, there was some tension kind of in the air. But no big deal. Anyway, we go back to the house so that we're going to go to sleep, and we had a big day the next day or whatever, going to go ziplining or something, or go in the cloud forest. And so we go back to the house, and my parents go to sleep. My sister and I are on the couch, the pull out bed.
Yeah.
And I can't sleep, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening, and it kind of had like a tin roof. You can kind of hear the different noises from outside, the trees hitting and things like that. And so it wasn't like really super like alarming or anything, but I was just getting used to the noises in the house, and I was just kind of laying there not able to sleep. And everybody else is asleep, my parents, my sister. So as I try my best to fall asleep, I hear my mom in the back room coughing, and she's coughing. And I'm like, oh God, I'm never going to go to sleep if she's coughing like that. And all of a sudden I heard like vomit. When somebody gets sick and it on the ground or whatever, and then you hear it sounds like water hitting the ground. You know what I mean? Yeah, splattering. You can hear the impact of the vomit.
Right.
Anyway, I can hear her coughing, and then all of a sudden I hear the legs go boom, boom. And then I hear vomit. Like she coughed so much that she just made herself throw up. That's what I'm thinking. And I'm like, oh God, that's sick. Like, why are you going to, I'm like, oh, that's so gross. She just threw up everywhere, like my poor mom, but I'm also really grossed out at the moment. And I wanted to pretend that I didn't notice. Right. So, I didn't want to help clean it up or anything. I'm like, going to go to bed.
Right.
And so, I'm laying there.
But also, was that kind of like weird? Is that something she would do?
It was super weird, but I didn't think anything because I just thought, okay, when you cough so much and it's like she just coughed until she made herself throw up. I've never heard my mom do that in my life, but it was happening.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, don't let her know that, you're awake because I don't want to help clean it up because that's gross. And I can hear her feet hitting the ground, boom, boom. And so I'm thinking, okay, she's going to go to the bathroom. And so I turn my back to the door where she's coming out, and then I can feel her footsteps walking towards the bed. Boom, 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 boom. Because you can feel the vibration of
Right,
the
right,
step.
right.
I can feel it all. I'm, laying here in the, in this house, and she would have to walk kind of towards the bed to go to the bathroom, and then hang a left to the bathroom. And so I could hear her coming, and then she just stopped in the middle of the kitchen, which was really close to where I was sleeping. And I thought, that's weird. Why isn't she going into the bathroom? And then it just stopped. So I'm like, okay, I don't know where she's going. But then all of a sudden I'm like, that's strange, but I'm still laying there. I don't want to help. I don't want to do anything. I'm grossed out. Right.
So you're fake sleeping still?
Yeah, totally fake sleeping. Like, I don't want to help clean up, throw up right now. And then it kind of, she stopped. And then I looked and she wasn't there. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. What's going on? Anyway, so I keep laying there trying to go back to sleep. And I hear the
Never heard her go back to the bedroom?
Never heard her go back to the bedroom. Not really connecting anything. And then I heard, more coughing. And then I heard getting out of the bed again, because you can hear the footsteps. Boom, boom. And I'm like, what is going on? Is that my dad? So my dad's getting out of bed now. Okay, so he must have to go to the bathroom, right? And I can hear their footsteps, boom, boom, and then leaving their room, dun, 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 dun. And then it stops again in the same place in the kitchen. I'm like, what is my dad doing now? Like, what is going on here? Like, they're not, why aren't they going to the bathroom? And then I'm like, nothing was there. And I said, oh.
Wait a second, so you opened your eyes?
Yeah.
And
yeah, because I waited a couple seconds or so, and I turn around and my dad's not there. It's just really, really strange. And because I could hear them leaving the bedroom, but they were stopping, and but they weren't there anymore. And so I'm like, what is going on here? So I start kind of getting a little nervous. I'm like, okay, this is a little bit strange. And I'm laying there still trying to go to sleep. And then all of a sudden, I hear the same footsteps.
Oh my gosh!
But this time it got faster, and it was going boom, 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 boom towards my bed,
Dude.
Running. I kid you not. I could feel the energy of the steps. It was like a rush of energy each step, and I'm like, oh, there's something going on here. And I'm at that point, I'm like completely frozen, and I'm like, what is this? So still kind of unaware of what's going on. So I'm laying there and trying to go back to sleep, and all of a sudden it happens again. And this time it's like boom, 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 right up to the edge of the bed. And something touches my pillow.
Stop it.
I kid you not.
Stop it.
Like, when you're laying on a pillow and you can feel like if somebody
yes,
like puts their hand on it.
Yes.
You can feel that. Your head is right here.
Right.
Literally pressing down on the pillow around
Did you wake
me.
when did you wake up your sister?
Oh, she was asleep the whole time. I couldn't do anything. I was absolutely paralyzed.
Oh my gosh.
And at that point, when whatever was happening was coming and pushing on the pillow, I could not move. And I'm like, okay, something is going on here. That wasn't my parents. Something's going on here. And then it happened again.
Stop
and
it.
The energy rushing, it was like a rush. The energy was rushing me, boom, 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 boom. And then it would stop right at the edge of the bed. And I'm staring at my sister, her back, she's sleeping all, perfect and dreaming. And I'm sitting there and I'm starting to get tortured, by whatever was happening. And kept taunting my pillow, like taunting me around without touching me, but pushing down and then just coming over and like the energy was literally leaning into the bed.
Oh.
And I am just like, what is going on here? And then I didn't realize that I didn't know how to protect myself. I didn't know how to get myself out of it. It felt like sleep paralysis. Like
Did it?
Yeah, like where you're trapped.
Okay,
And then
can I ask you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I was just gonna say, why in the middle of that, when you realized something was going on, why didn't you snuggle up and push up against your sister and like bury your face in her back or something?
I wish I could have.
You
I couldn't. I was paralyzed in fear, complete fear. I couldn't do anything. Teardrops were just running down my eyes.
Stop it.
And I just kept thinking, this is an entity. I'm dealing with something that's not of this world. And it just, it was just so frightening. It was literally like sleep paralysis. I couldn't do anything. I could look at my sister, but I couldn't even reach out to
Did
her.
you have like the blankets above your head?
I couldn't even move the blankets.
Where were they?
They weren't up on me at all. I was just kind of like frozen. I was turned on my back facing my parents' bedroom. So all this was happening with my back facing them. When I first thought it was my parents, of course I looked, nothing was there. But after that, when the pillow tapping and the taunting and the energy rushing at me and then stopping at the bed and then doing it again and again and again, I was literally getting taunted.
The side of the bed or the foot of the bed?
The side of the bed.
Your side of the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
It was awful.
Girl,
I could not even turn around. I could not even turn around. And I did not know how to protect myself. Like I did not even have any clue of how to get out of this mess. And so this goes on for, I really honestly don't know, but it was over and over and over again. And it was terrifying. Then another time, this is the last time, it did the same thing, and it got faster and faster with the energy rushing to me. I mean, just rapid, boom, 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 stopping at the side of the bed. And then it leans over, this energy leans over to me.
And you can feel
I can feel every ounce. I mean, the energy is so thick. I don't even know how to explain it. You can feel every fiber, every cell of my being could feel this energy. Came over, got in my ear and goes, "We want you to leave."
Stop it. Amelia, I can't.
Yeah. In English. We're in Costa Rica.
Wait, hang on.
In my ear.
Hang on a second.
In my ear.
I literally, girl, look at, I have the chills.
Because,
Do you see my skin?
because it was literally like the scream voice in that movie. It was just like that. I couldn't even believe it manifest in English. Yeah. We want you to leave.
Wait, dude, do you see my skin? Mm-hmm. I literally have goosebumps.
Because it's so real, girl. It is so real. And I could not move. And you know, back then I believed in God, but I didn't know my authority through Christ and to be able to use the word of Christ and help protect myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know how to protect myself through him at all. So although I believed, I didn't have the tools to be able to actually really kind of combat this. And so I didn't have any idea what to do. And so it literally tortured and tormented me. So it didn't want us there. Okay.
It did what?
It did not want us there.
No, it didn't want you there.
It did not want us there.
Okay, wait a second. Okay. Hang on a second. I just need us, that's like crazy.
It's the most, it's the realest thing that has ever really happened. Like, I could not believe that manifest, period.
Okay. So first of all, whoa, I did not see that coming. That was such a vivid share that I literally could envision it. And I think that's why I got such goosebumps. That was wild.
It's the realest thing. Like, I mean, leaned over me and got in my ear and said that. And I've never felt like I wanted to be somewhere else more than anything in that moment. I did not know how to protect myself though, and to get the torment off. I did not know how to do that. And so I was just literally tortured. So when he told me that,
and it was a male.
Yeah, it was a demonic energy, for sure.
Okay.
Had to have been. What other entity would even prey on me?
Right.
And I think the only thing that I mean, it literally did not want us there. It did not want us there. And so at some point in time, so I was paralyzed, crying, and that's all I could do, just tears. And I, at some point in time, must have fallen asleep at some point, but I woke up like this, because I didn't want to sleep. I wanted to stay up the whole night. I wanted to leave.
That within itself is like really freaky.
Yeah.
It's almost like it sat you up.
Yeah, it could have. At that point, there's some gap there. But what was funny is the moment I kind of woke up from my nap, God knows how long I was, just napping for, because I don't even know how long this happened. It was going on for a while that night. And the funny thing is right when I woke up, my parents came out of the room. Girl, you can't feel the vibration for anything. You can't even hear their footsteps walking. So so when they walked from their room to like the kitchen, the living room where I was, just through that little area, I couldn't even hear their footsteps. So the entire night, all that energy that was rushing to me was so loud and so intrusive and so violating. But when in reality, there was no noise. So
it wasn't even a vibration.
It wasn't even a vibration.
When you left the bedroom.
Yeah, correct. In normal waking days. So whatever this demonic entity can manipulate energy waves in a way that torment, because you can feel it. It was like rushing. I just like whoom, like a wave. And then when I woke up, and then I can't hear anything. I can't hear footsteps. I can't hear. I'm like, so my mom didn't get sick. None of that was true.
So this is now the morning.
None of the only things that I could hear were just the normal noises on the like tin roof. All that I experienced was an super amplified energy, and that didn't manifest in daylight when when everybody was awake.
Wow.
And I was, oh my God. You can't even feel, you can't even hear their footsteps. So that entire night, that was able to mock my parents and make me think that was them, in term, and getting out of the bed and coming towards me and everything like that. And it wasn't at all.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. And I looked at my mom when she got up, and this is what I said to her. I said, you don't need to believe me, but we're not welcome here. And I just told her, I briefly told her what happened. And my mom looks at me and goes, I don't want to talk about it, but I believe you. And she walked out the door with my dad, and they went and got us another spot to stay at for the next night. So she didn't want to talk about it, but she completely believed me. And she didn't it's just a very strange place. And so it was absolutely the most terrifying ordeal all night long. And then the morning of, it's like, oh my gosh, all of that happened, but it was like a mockery. It was a manipulation of energy, everything. How did it talked to me? It told me it didn't want us there. I was like, we're not staying here. I'm not staying here. You guys can stay here. I'm not staying here.
So your sister didn't hear?
Nothing. No, nobody heard anything. It just...
So everybody slept peacefully?
Mm-hmm. Everybody was perfect.
Except you. Uh-huh. Your mom clearly felt something at some point.
She didn't like the bugs, of course. But
bugs.
Yeah, but the bugs didn't make any sense. Like, bugs are everywhere. We're in the jungle. Understood. But... with the energy and the darkness and the coldness, I was like, how did anybody else even stay in this room? So as they were going and getting us another place to stay, I was going through, they had a book, where people sign. Thank you for letting me stay here. Oh, we loved the spot. We love, people sign this book. All the guests throughout the years that have been staying there. I was like, there's got to be somebody in here that wrote, this place is creepy as F. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
this is like, somebody had to have experienced. It can't just be me. And I couldn't find anything. Everything in the book, it's like, oh, this place is so nice. Oh, this is great. Oh, what a cute place. And I'm like, I could not believe it. I'm like, this place is not great. It's creepy as hell. And there's some sort of demonic energy attached to this place. And it somehow harnessed our little negative energy that we had, or something that we were going, I think it harnesses off, or it feeds off of any type of negative energy. And that's what it did. And because I'm sensitive, it manifests to me.
Girl.
It was absolutely the most terrifying ordeal. I've, seen a lot of stuff, and I've been through a lot of stuff, and this takes a cake. All I wanted to do was debrief it all the next day. I wanted to talk about it constantly. Nobody would talk about it with me. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, but do you understand what happened to me? Like, it blew my mind. I could not believe.
Yeah, it's that, like, I'm pretty dumbfounded right now. Like, that's what, the fact that it talked to you.
In English. And now I realize now, of course, these entities or whatever are going to speak in the tongue that we are familiar with, right? So, but I just always was like, well, why wasn't it in Spanish? You know what I mean? We're in Costa Rica.
Right.
No, it said what it needed to me to get us out of there.
That's wild.
And all when they came back and we got all of our stuff and we were going to the new place, I was the last one out of the house. And I looked around, I said a bunch of choice words to it.
You must have been terrified. Oh my goodness. Like, what if this happens again, right?
Yeah. Instinctively, I knew it was not attached to us. I knew it wasn't going to come with us. I don't know why I knew. I just knew that it was attached to that property.
Right.
And somehow it harnesses itself or manifests itself. I wasn't really concerned it was going to come with us.
Okay.
That was it was very apparent that it was there. Yes, it wanted us to leave its space. I just wish I knew how much power we had through, Christ. Like he would have protected me had I been able to harness that power. But I didn't understand. Wow. I didn't know that we can protect ourselves. So I just kind of really literally suffered through that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's wild. That's an experience. And now, can I ask you?
Yes.
So what have you learned from that? Because you keep saying now, I didn't know how to protect myself. Mm-hmm. And you keep saying, if I knew the power that I had. So my question for you is, what have you learned since then on how to protect yourself in a situation like this?
Well, it's kind of like the exorcism movies, and the priest comes in and has the cross and can, bind the spirit and, rebuke them and, in Jesus' name. And, we could save ourselves through Christ. Obviously, he's the last living, sacrifice. So when we have authority through Christ to actually stop these things, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
In so many words. But and I wasn't aware of that authority yet. Although I believed in God, I didn't understand that. So that's where my learning lesson is had I understood that or developed that relationship where I really knew that, I probably could have stopped it earlier. Instead, I didn't know. I was just frozen in fear.
Okay. So how did you learn?
Well, I think just over the several years after, it's just, developing my relationship with God. And had I known, I think the situation would turn out different. I wouldn't have been tormented. But I also think that it's something I needed to go through.
Right.
To kind of bring me to where I'm at today.
Ooh. Now, let me ask you, do you think that pushed you closer to God?
Yes, I do.
Really?
Because I believed in God, but I didn't understand how, I just didn't understand. It was more of I believe in God, of course, But yeah, I think it totally pushes you towards that because it's when you get a tangible example of something that's intangible, it doesn't get more real than that, and then other things that have happened. I mean, then you go back through the Rolodex of what else has happened to me. I've had sleep paralysis. When I lived in Boston, there was a lot of situations that, that's a really old city. There's a lot of old energy.
Really old energy.
Yeah. And I had experiences in Boston that I hadn't had here in California, growing up in California.
Listen, I went to Wheaton and that's 1886.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
And there was so much weird stuff that happened in the dorms. We had a quad, right? And my junior year, me and Amanda lived on the right. I recently told this story. The left was two of my field hockey teammates. And there was a little kitchenette in between, small.
I know exactly.
And there was a little key ring right here, but we never used it. Anyway, so I come home from class. The way that me and Amanda's room was set up was our beds were over here, kind of like an L shape. So here's the door. And there's the dressers right here and the TV right here. So if I'm walking in and I look, I can see slightly into our room, but I wouldn't be able to see Amanda's top if she's sitting on her bed because the TV was blocking it. But I could see her legs. So I walk in. I turn to go in our room. Something turns my body. I'm getting the chills. Has me hang my keys up on that little ring that we never even used. And then I go back in the room and nobody's in there. But I walked in and I knew that her and Caitlin, one of our friends, were in there. Yep. I knew that. right? So I'm like frozen in the room, like,
Where'd they go?
What the hell? Yeah. And it was all moments. No, yeah. So then I leave. I knew she was probably downstairs watching TV. We didn't have cable in the dorms, only in like the common area.
Yeah.
So I go down there. I'm halfway down the stairs. I stop. I go, wait a minute. Something genius in me, right, says, because we had our blankets with down comforters. Something genius. Did I ever tell you this story?
No.
Something genius in my head says, if there were really two people sitting there like you saw, there's going to be butt imprints and leg imprints on the fucking bed.
Yeah.
My ass marches right back upstairs. I go right back into our fucking bedroom. And guess what? 2 ass prints and 2 sets of legs. I'm getting the chills.
Yep, I believe it. I got the chills too. I believe it.
I never fucking felt the same in that room again.
Yep.
I always felt like somebody was watching me.
Yep. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, that gave me the chills too. It's just very interesting that how real this stuff is. But the fear is less. So as I've developed my relationship, I have less fear.
Wow.
I don't fear anything.
Right.
You know? And so I think that that's also very powerful.
Wow.
But it definitely has helped me shape who I am today. I don't know. If that happen, I don't think that will happen again. I don't think I'm going to get tested like that again. I think that now I have the tools in my toolbox. And so can get rid of that energy. You know, it's just wild to know that this is real. And then we as just society walk around and just are do in the day to day, and we forget, you know, the spiritual aspects of us being here. You know,
right.
We're, spirits in our physical body. You know,
right.
Moving around here trying to figure it all out, and so.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right?
So I mean, some people might feel more comfortable just shutting themselves off to stuff like this, but I'm a seeker of knowledge, and a seeker of experience, and I like to know, and I'm endlessly searching for answers.
Let me ask you this. So now in your life, when you walk into an environment and you sense that the energy is off, or something similar arises and happens, what do you do now to immediately protect yourself?
Well, now I just say a prayer, you know.
Got it.
You know,
yeah.
That's, you know, you can bind out those spirits through Christ, you know, through Jesus. And it sounds, some people might go, okay, but when you go through what I went through, it's as real as it gets.
Right.
I don't really I just protect myself with prayer, white light, that type of thing, so nothing can really penetrate. But
cover yourself in
yeah. Mm-hmm. And protect us through the blood of Jesus, and it's but you feel energy everywhere. You feel it with people, places, things, and so, you know, just being able to discern that type of energy.
Right.
I personally try to avoid any type, you know, obviously situations that are gonna, you know, don't feel right, or people that don't feel right. But yeah, I'm not really scared. I have no fear anymore.
Amazing.
Yeah. No
wow.
fear. But I mean, it was absolutely life-changing, because nothing manifests, you know. We could be, we went to a haunted house, or, you know, I saw something move in the corner of my eye. But, you know, like getting haunted by a literal demon manifestation is happens. So when people tell stories like that, or I believe them.
Yeah. All right. So can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
So what would you recommend? Like if this happened to somebody, right? Obviously, say a prayer. Let's say somebody doesn't exactly believe in, or isn't Catholic, or believe in God or whatever. Maybe they believe in something, another higher power. What would you say? Like pray to that?
I would recommend, if somebody's in that situation, to pray to whoever, you know, whatever their God is. For people out there that have experienced things like this, you're not alone. You're not crazy.
Yeah, and you're not crazy.
No, we're not crazy. That's the farthest thing. But a lot of people don't want to talk about it, because they don't talk about things they're not comfortable with. If you're telling people about it and you want to talk about it, and people don't want to hear you, they're not the right audience. Then you need to talk to people that understand, and that are, you know, or that have been through it, or that just, you know, there's a huge spiritual battle going on right now. And I think that's the bottom line for every single thing. And people would rather not deal with that. But when you are aware that there's a massive spiritual battle going on, it's like a war for our mind, good and bad. And we've got to kind of pick one. It's
right.
So this has been definitely I've been developing my relationship with God, and all of these things that have happened, do nothing but just solidify my belief. And we are protected. We really are. And it's amazing to think that we could get out of situations like that if we have the tools in our toolbox, and you know what I mean?
Love it.
And are able to speak to it properly.
Wow.
Through Christ. And it's just, it just takes on a whole different experience after that. So yeah, I ended up taking that and then just kind of, learning from it.
Wow. Love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, girl. That was a great
you.
share. That share had me on the edge of my seat.
It was the creepiest shit I've ever been through. That's all I have to, it is the most bananas.
Wow.
But one more thing is to take away is the energy manipulation that occurs with these types of entities is bananas. They can somehow manipulate the whole, I don't know how they take the energy waves and they can manipulate it into anything and mock anything, and create what they need to create that fear in you. And they thrive off of fear.
Wow.
So better protected we are, the better we're equipped, for sure.
Wow, Amelia, thank you so much for that share.
Thank you for letting me share, Melissa.
I loved it. That was great. Dang, girl. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you gained something from the story and enjoyed the story. If you are in a similar situation or have experienced something similar to this, you are not alone. If you liked this content, please like, share, and subscribe. And however you listen to your podcasts, please like, share, and subscribe as well. And if you have a powerful story that you would love to showcase, please email at powerfulshares, I'm here to connect, @gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.